This is my cup of tea. My name is Melanie Ishola. In Nigeria, if a poor woman is essentially to be diagnosed with breast cancer, your guess can be as good as mine. Oh my God. The trauma, even before the pains of treatment. Nigeria is a population of over 200 million people. And of course, it will excite you, maybe, to know that we have just under 9 radiotherapy machines for the whole country, which gives 1 radiotherapy machine to 20 million people. Amazing. Now, today we're examining what it takes for a woman to go through breast cancer. What are even the symptoms? What do you look out for? And of course, if you're diagnosed with one, what should you do? I have joining me Ethel Olomu. She's a breast cancer survivor of 10 years and of course, the founder Engraved Life Foundation. Welcome on the set of My Cup of Tea, Ethel. You know, it's so amazing to have you seated here.
Thank you so much.
You know, beyond the miracle, they say it's a miracle to have people who have 2 lives. So I can say you've had a taste of your first life and now another one of your second life.
In fact, I'm the cat with the 9 lives.
Yeah, baby.
Not just 2 lives.
So now it feels like a phase of life and then another phase of life.
Exactly.
I think what happened to you was a very defining occurrence in life, and not very many people will go through that in the first place, and not many people will make it out alive, having gone through that. So if I say it that way, it looks like, what have you gone through? And so I think that's where we should begin on a day like this. What have you really gone through?
What I've gone through? We'll start it, we won't end it today.
Shall we?
But the one I always talk about, because there are some parts I don't talk about, because it's something I'm going to write a book about. I've gone through stage 4 breast cancer 10 years ago, 2010 precisely. And I'm here, sitting gidigba.
Tanda? Like nothing happened.
By the grace of God, nothing did happen. You know,
right.
By the grace, it's just by the grace of God, actually.
Right.
And you know, it makes me come to believe that, you know, when they say, when your life have a purpose, like, I didn't know the meaning until I survived it. Like when they say purpose preserves, I used to hear that preaching in church. I was like, what is purpose preserves? Not until I went through it. And I knew that, oh, indeed, purpose preserves. So
purpose preserves.
I'm living purpose now, by the grace of God.
Thank you very much. All right, you heard her. Purpose preserves. Is this true? Is it not? So what did she go through, you may be asking as well. Of course, you know that in this series of My Cup of Tea, we are doing stories of us. And the story that Ethel Olomu is sharing with me today is not the usual story that you are used to. As she said, for 10 years now, she survived stage 4 breast cancer. Can we go into a world and know exactly how she discovered, for starters, that she had cancer? All right. So how did you know?
How did I know? How did I know? At first I didn't know, because it just happened after I had I felt a sharp pain on my left breast, and I didn't even know, I didn't know anything about cancer. Like, it's not something like, it's not a word that you hear every day, like malaria, headache. I'm used to that. But you know, breast cancer, I don't even think I've heard anybody that have gone through that. So it's not like a common word that was just out there. Moreover, even if it was out there, it was something that people were shamed, like they don't talk about it, you know, they just hide it. You know, when you are sick like HIV, they say, cover it or hide it, or don't tell anybody. That was what happened then in my own case. So, and moreover, I wasn't educated about it, I wasn't enlightened, I didn't know what was cancer, because it didn't just come as cancer. Of course, I had a breast lump, like every woman normally develop lump one time or the other in their life, so I heard that. I know I felt a sharp pain, and I went to the hospital. My mom, being a retired nurse, she's the type that if it's small headache, she like go to the hospital, take me. She's that type of person. She was like, please, oh, this sharp pain. You know, when I felt the sharp pain, I told her, she said, please, oh, you need to go to the hospital. And she specifically said, not just any hospital, you go to the teaching hospital, because the belief then was like, that is where all the consultants are. Unlike private hospital, you know, they come visit once in a while. But you know, when you go to the teaching hospital, you meet all the consultants there. And of course, I went there, and they told me it was a lump, and the doctor was like, it's nothing to worry about. Every woman normally develop lump, you know. What will happen is that you just come and remove it. It's until you remove it, we'll know what next. Then I didn't even still think cancer. Until I removed it, they took it to the lab for histology and all the tests, biopsy, blah, blah, blah. And it came back nothing. They said I was fine, that it's not cancerous, that I was fine. And of course, I went back to my life.
My whole life.
I was living my life. Not until 5 weeks after. In the night, I just stood up to use the restroom, and I couldn't stand up. I noticed that I was heavy. My bed was soaked. I managed to stretch my hands and put the light on, and the whole bed was soaked with fluid, pus, and blood. The whole bed was soaked, and I was like, what is this? And behold, my breast was as big as like 5 people's head. I'm not exaggerating.
Are you joking?
Yes, this was like middle of the night, around 3. And I was like, what is this? And when I noticed, it was the breast that they removed the lump from. There and then, I couldn't endure it. I just called the doctor that removed the lump from me, and I called it. I said, I don't know, I just woke up and my breast is swollen like balloon, as if it wants to burst, and I saw blood, fluid, pus everywhere on my bed, and I can't stand up. I'm in pain. You know how you just wake up with pain?
Absolutely.
And he was like, that is strange. He now said, okay, just manage. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to send you a drug. Go to the pharmacy, get it and take it. Maybe the swollen will come down and stuff like that. Of course, I couldn't go out in the morning. You know how one breast is like organigwe, the other breast is normal. What cloth will I even wear to go out?
My goodness.
I called my friend, and she came back. I gave her the name of the tablet. She went to the pharmacy and said she wanted to buy this. And she got it for me. I took it the first day. Nothing. The second, you know how you'll be checking.
Absolutely.
And I couldn't even stand up because the load on my chest was...
Was it heavy?
It was heavy, swollen like balloon, and it was heavy. The fluid was just gushing, the blood, everything. At the end of 3rd day, there was nothing. It wasn't getting better. Then I was in Lagos. I had a program I was doing at Lagos Business School. That was how I called my friend that works there. I said, please, I need to come back to Port Harcourt. She booked the next flight for me. My friend had to go to Yaba to get, this tracksuit that coaches they wear, because none of my dress could fit me.
To conceal what you had.
So when she brought the jacket, blah, 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 whatever, we had to use wrapper to make ball, to put in the other part of the breast for me to wear that. And she took me to the airport. I called my siblings. They came to pick me at the airport and straight to the doctor's office. And when they checked me, it was like, this is strange. And I said, okay, maybe fluid gathered and stuff that they are going to do, maybe a corrective surgery to remove all the fluid and pus and blood and everything. And they took me back to the theater. I almost died because the blood was just gushing and everything. They did that, thinking that, okay, it will be fine now. Don't worry, the swelling will come down and stuff like that. We are still going to take back the sample to the lab again to check why that happened. They took it back to the lab, weeks passed, and it came back, nothing. I had to change doctor. They took me to another consultant. That one said, okay, no worry, the first person did a bad job. We are going to do a corrective surgery. And went back to the theater the 3rd time again. Same story, nothing happened, but I was dying gradually. The swollen is not coming down. The blood is gushing like every day. The pus, the fluid was just gushing from my breast at the time. Would I have bandage, will wrap it, they'll come and treat it. I go every 2 days to go and dress the wound, and whenever they are dressing the wound, it will just gush. In a day, I use almost 20 towels in a day because it was constantly, even with the padding and everything, the blood, the pus will just be, my mom, everybody, they have to be washing, change me towel every one hour.
So you had somebody there to nurse you?
Of course.
At that time, you had left school?
I had to call Lagos Business School people. I said, this is, I don't know what is wrong with me. They said, please. And you know what? It was 3 weeks to graduation. Everybody was so excited, waiting for the graduation, and this was happening to me. That was how I missed my graduation. I didn't go for my graduation. Then I said, please, just go and sort out your health. That is more important. Any day you get better, your certificate will be waiting for you. Thank God we've rounded up school work. We are just doing rehearsal and stuff like that, preparing for graduation. So it's not as if you're going to really miss much. But that was the time everybody was excited. We were looking forward to graduation, Lagos Business School, the hype and everything. But I missed it because of my health. So that was how I changed from one doctor to the other until I did almost 4 surgeries.
This hospitals, were they, or do I say these doctors, were they general practitioners?
They were just general practitioners.
Oh, goodness.
You can't go to an oncologist except you're diagnosed of cancer.
Okay.
It's until you're diagnosed of cancer, that's when you go to an oncologist. Okay. But in this case, cancer wasn't showing all the results. So, like, there was no need, that nobody even thought of cancer.
So, what was the defining moment? I'd like to know. When did you discover that this was cancer?
Not until, at a point, a family friend now came on board. He now said, no, this is getting out of hand. He now said he's going to get my samples and take it abroad. He now took it abroad. He took it abroad within 1 month when the result came. That was when they said, like, did you people bring the sample of a living human being or a corpse? Because as far as you are concerned, this is like a rotten corpse sample you people brought for us. That this is the last stage of cancer. That whoever has this can't make it. People shouldn't bother if at all she's still talking. Because the junior doctor that went with the sample to go and run the test abroad went like, she's still alive and breathing. They now said, oh, really? That's like strange, but any moment she would just go. That was my story.
Without being diagnosed with cancer?
We didn't even see stage 0, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. It just popped stage 4. And you know what? Like, it's not something that, like, they wanted to lie about. This is from, like, it was abroad, like, you know, an oncology, like, real. And
we usually naturally like the abroad.
We like the abroad, not guesswork or whatever. This is what they carried, like, this is stage 4. And it didn't show in any of this lab here. They took all over Nigeria from Abuja to Lagos to Ibadan to Port Harcourt, the best of the labs. It was showing nothing. Unfortunately, God sent an angel, my customer. She was my customer and turned a friend. All this period I was sick, I didn't see her. And guess what? I didn't even know where my phone was. Like, you know how nobody even remembered phone. Like, who are you talking to on the phone? Who are you calling? Who am I talking to? So, like, I didn't even remember I could talk to anybody or who to reach out to. Unfortunately, a neighbor just ran into her at a wedding and told her that, madam, I used to hear your name from Ethel's mouth, too. She's dying of breast cancer. The man said, really? And I've been looking for her to do work for me because I used to make beads and stuff like that. And I said, do you know where she is? That was how she came to my house. What is it? She cried and cried and said, oh, so what's the next thing? We said all the doctors rejected us. The only hospital that accepted us in India said we must deposit 10 million naira before anything can be done. And at this stage, you sold everything sellable. Like, there was no money. At the time, you know, my friends were not doing fundraising. Look, when they see you on the road, they say, please, oh, they were doing Babiala. Please, help, oh, my friend is dying. She's a good person, oh, she's hardworking, oh. And the woman said, really? Okay, wait, there's a doctor I know. He practices in America. I think right now he's in Nigeria. Let me call him. That was how he called the doctor, Dr. Juko. That was in fact, God arranged him. He was the only one that I said, okay, when the woman told him my case and everything, I said, okay, right now I'm in Abuja. If people can bring her to Abuja, let's see how it is. All these people are telling me report. I need to really assess her physically. I couldn't walk. It was stretcher the way Bill me to Abuja. That was how I got to Abuja. When I got there, first he said, did you people bring me like a corpse or a living human being? Like, he couldn't like understand it. Like,
and this person is living?
This person is living, like, still breathing. But this case, like, you people like, Dr. Mina, what is this? You know, like, him too, he was scared because he told me that he has never seen such a case in his life. And you're still breathing? He looked at me and said, I don't know. He just asked me, are you a Christian? I just nodded my head because I wasn't talking. I just nodded. He said, you're a Christian. He said, okay, let's see what your God can do. You know, I said, if I even give you any injection now, you will die. I can't give you any injection because, like, they were feeding me with antibiotics, no multivitamin, and I wasn't eating. Maybe once a day I can manage and drink tea. Nothing was entering my mouth. I couldn't eat or swallow anything. And all the doctors treating me, they couldn't even like say, okay, let's put on infusion at least to give her strength. But meanwhile, every day I would drink like 10, 20 antibiotics.
Including tramadol.
Plus tramadol. At the time, some people said, she has HIV. Because you will just be seeing only my skeleton, you won't see anything. And the balloon breast that is leaking out. I don't even know where the blood and pus and fluid was coming out from because I was not eating. In a day, my mom would force me open my mouth to like put that tea. Like at least it was just say, just swallow. Can I even swallow? My throat is aching.
Thank you. It's been interesting hosting Ethel Olomu. And of course, if I didn't tell you that she's now started something so inspiring and even more so powerful, Engraved Life Foundation. It's good to be able to ask her how Engraved Life Foundation came about. And of course, this may blow your mind because Ethel that I know when I met her is an entrepreneur. And if I can say serial entrepreneur who's done a lot of businesses successfully, but right now it seems purpose is overtaking every other sphere of our life. Let's go find out how she's doing Engraved Life Foundation. Let me know the journey from 10 years ago when you got healed. Maybe we should even take it from the day you were told that now you can go home.
So, when we got to the, from what we're saying, the doctor couldn't give me any medication. He placed me on he told me that I'm going to be on blood transfusion. And I was on that for 6 weeks, every day. Every day, I would take blood for 6 weeks. It was after that, they now started giving me chemo. At the end of the day, I took 9 shots of chemo. I was supposed to go for radiotherapy. After the chemo, I did my surgery. I was supposed to go for radiotherapy. So, after the 9 shots of chemo and everything, the next step was radiotherapy. And guess what? From Ibadan to Abuja to Lagos to Enugu to Port Harcourt, there was no radiotherapy machine in the whole of Nigeria. The closest place that we saw a radiotherapy machine was Ghana. He has already sent my file to Ghana. I was on the queue. Ghana had queue, almost all the West African countries go to Ghana because they were the only country that had radiotherapy machine then. So, the queue was long. But because he was a senior oncologist in America and blah, 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 so they know him, so they kind of shortened the queue. So 2 weeks to when it would be my turn to go to Ghana. So he called me, sent for me. Then I've already finished my chemo. I was in Port Harcourt, recuperating. He now told me, so time you go for the radio. He now told me that my radio is in 2 weeks' time, so I should be prepared to go for radio. So he now invited me to Lagos. Then he has opened a center in Lagos. He now said, guess what? You won't even need to really, before you go to the Ghana, so that they will know how many sessions of radiotherapy they will carry on you. That was when the month Mikio at Oshodi came. And I said, okay, so know that you're going to do some tests, some CT scans, some MRI, so that we'll know how many sessions of radiotherapy you will do. He gave me the paper and everything. I went to Mikio and of course, I gave them, I said I came from social recommendation, social doctor, and they took me in. I was going from one machine to the other, one tube, going from one tube to the other. They were checking everything. I noticed that when I come out, dress up, sit down, waiting, they say, come back again. I'll come back again. That was how we did it for almost 3-4 times, same routine. I was now wondering. But I noticed that at every point, they will call another person to come and do it. Finally, they told me that, okay, go and meet your doctor. We'll email them. Mikio don't usually give results because you come from your doctor's recommendation. So what they do, they will email your results to your doctor. They just told me, go back to my doctor. And my doctor called me that, Ethel, you need to be in my office. When I going back to Port Harcourt, I said my flight was the next morning, 7 a.m. He said, no, move it to the afternoon. I need to see you in the morning. 7 o'clock, be at my office at Lekki. I said, okay. I went there. He said, because I have your results. I got there. And immediately they told him I was around. He just rushed out. And he carried me like a baby. He was like, wow, your God has done it, I was not like, what happened? He said, you're not going to Ghana again. I said, why? He said, your result, you're free from cancer. They couldn't find any cancer cell in your system again. He was like, didn't you notice they were telling you to do the same routine test? I said, yes, I did it 3-4 times. I was now wondering, the same thing, still go back. He said, because they weren't sure, because they had your file. So what was showing and your file, they were two apart, it's not possible. How can? That they couldn't, my system was like a newborn baby system, new cells in my system, what happened? And I said, wow, indeed, your God has done it.
We've heard so much. My ear tingles. I don't know how you're having to deal with this. If you're still watching this production, then you have a heart. I really don't know how you're able to watch this. Right now, I'm concerned for people who are going to have to watch this particular episode. Can you pull through watching it? If you did from start to the end, please come on, give a thumbs up. And of course, right now, we need to ask her conclusively exactly the lessons that she can pull from all of these experiences that she has had. And not to forget that there is a foundation. As far as I'm concerned, that foundation has a life of its own. Engraved Life Foundation. What is the why?
Oh, thank you for having me back again. So, Engraved Life Foundation, why? I started Engraved Life Foundation from my personal experience. Wrong diagnosis. We had lack of medical personnel in oncology space. Fund was an issue because the truth that breast cancer treatment is expensive. It's not something that even the rich cry. So lots of people, when they hear the finance involved, they just say, let me just die peacefully. I know somebody that the husband sold their house to treat the wife. So that was all my reason for starting Engraved Life Foundation. Breast health education. Women need to be educated. Check your breasts so that you catch it early. When you catch it early, the treatment won't be that expensive, and the trauma and the pain you cause yourself and your family won't be there. And when they diagnose of breast cancer, women, girls, please, my sisters, mommy, than that, please accept treatment. That's where the wahala is. There's one mama, she has one child. Mama left her house at Lekki to her friend at Ayobo. The friend was doing agbo for her. They were paying millions. As my mama said, she had a friend that died of breast cancer. That is the chemotherapy that killed. I'm not even calling her mama. She's 60, I'll be 59. She said, so she will not take chemo. Her pikin talk for way. Everybody, family meeting on her head. She said, lie, nothing will make her take chemo. So one day I just saw a message on my Instagram from the daughter abroad. She's a medical doctor. That one now said, I'm not sending money again, except you go to the hospital. She said, no, her friend told her, don't worry. They deposited 5 million already for the agbo they are treating her with. That one thing, the friend now said, don't worry, the next agbo now that will work is 10 million naira. So they were looking for 10 million naira to prepare the special agbo. Meanwhile, she wasn't getting better. She had stayed there like almost 4-5 months. She wasn't getting better. But you know how
I feel like laughing. I'm losing all sense of that.
Don't worry, when they pay this 10 million naira agbo, that's a special agbo from the root, from the source. You get where the children now, the daughter now said, 5 kobo from this family, we won't send again. The daughter now said, I heard your story on Instagram. Please, maybe if she hears from you, she will listen. I said, what do you want me to tell her? Just try so that she will go and do chemo. That was how finally, they gave me her number. I called her. I said, Ma, I survived it. I survived. See me living. She said, do you mean you took chemo? I said, Mama, 9 shots of chemotherapy. She said, really? She said, did you do surgery? I said, yes, ma. Did you do? She said, really? That she has not had anybody survive of chemo. To tell you how, even people that don't have any knowledge of cancer, they are the one telling people, now don't go and do chemo. They are the one that carry the gist. Don't go and do chemo. Don't accept treatment or you will die, yo. I said, Mama, I did all that. She now said, okay. If you people want me to leave Ayobo on one condition, I said, Mama, what's the condition? She said, your doctor will be the one to treat me. I said, Mama, that one is no problem now. You know, like,
is she alive today?
Mama calls me and prays for me every day. She has finished her treatment, everything. She said, my daughter, you're the best thing that happened to me. See how I would have just died for nothing. Accept treatment. When they die, don't live in denial than Engraved Life Foundation. Because with that way, I can reach out to more people. And of course, raising funds, which by the grace of God, we've raised for like almost 4 people.
Through chemotherapy?
Yes, for chemotherapy and treatments.
Wow.
They are building our website so that more people can reach out. We can reach out to more people.
Thank you. Thank you. And honestly, from my heart, from somebody who's gone through lumpectomy 2 different times on 2 breasts.
Wow.
I've just got to say Thank you for taking the time to not hide your story. On that note, we've got to raise our cups.
Ooh,
right.
My cup of tea.
Yeah, baby. And make a toast.
A toast. Mwah, to life.
Thank you to life. Thank you for coming on My Cup of Tea.
Thank you for having me and My Cup of Tea.
One thing strikes the chord for me, the fact that women have to make themselves visible to themselves. Women have to put themselves first. We heard lots of stories today, and you cannot but wonder why a woman would prefer to actually have a husband back instead of having her health first. And so, in every way we make sacrifices as women, I am hoping that through the story of Ethel Olomu, we're able to understand the place of pausing on life and choosing to first give ourselves the right treatment that we desire. Not just for breast cancer treatment, but for everything in life. That's the show today. Thank you for joining me. My name is Melanie Ishola.